Good evening and welcome to this conversation. I apologize for the delay. Getting straight to it, an update of what's going on around Delhi. The Singhu and Tikri borders of Delhi, Haryana are blocked completely as farmers are digging their heels in and refusing to move. Police have now asked citizens of Delhi to take alternate routes to access Haryana. Farmers also plan to put up roadblocks in Sonipat, Rohtak, Gazipur, Harpur, Jaipur, and Mathura in the coming days. We know that within the government, the Home Minister has had two meetings with the Agriculture Minister over the last 24 hours. He's also held a meeting with Mr. Rajnath Singh and Mr. JP Nadda last night to discuss the way forward. Apart from the Akali Dal, who we know broke off ties with the BJP when these farm bills were passed, a second ally now, the Rashtriya Loktantric Party, has also broken off ties. But the thing that we must acknowledge at this point is that the Prime Minister, in his visit to Varanasi, made two important statements. One, he blamed the opposition for misleading farmers with rumors and propaganda and fear. And he also said, and I'm quoting him here, the promise of giving 1.5 times more MSP to farmers, as per the Swaminathan Commission report, has been fulfilled. This promise has not only been fulfilled on paper, it has reached the bank accounts of farmers. End quote. This is the Prime Minister speaking at Varanasi. Joining me right now, Mr. Yogendra Yadav, who I understand is at the one of these borders between farmers and cops. I must remind our viewers, it's winter, so it's very cold out there. So, Mr. Yadav, thank you for giving us your time. My first question to you is simply this: how are the farmers coping with the cold, with having to spend night after night outside in the winter? Is there enough food? Is there enough, arrangements for them?
Faye, I'm here at the Singhu border, as it is called, where GT Road joins Delhi. On my right is the police contingent here, barbed wires, barricades, and police. And on my left are the farmers. And on my back, in case you can see, are candles, because today is Gurpurab. Today is Guru Nanak Dev Ji's birthday, which
Yes.
is being celebrated here with candles. So all these, and this is the biggest festival for a Punjabi, for a Sikh, and they are celebrating it out in the cold, on roads, inside their tractors, inside trolleys. Yes, it is cold. Yes, it's difficult. But the grit and determination of these farmers, that's something to be watched, to be believed. It is astonishing. And today also happens to be a day, Faye, when the tide is beginning to turn in more way. Reports from three states, Uttar Pradesh, Mr. Rakesh, who was perhaps the only large farmers' union which had not joined us so far. The only, at least in North India, I did not know of any other farmers' union which had not joined the struggle of the 26th. Mr. Rakesh Tuket also joined it today. Rajasthan, Hanuman Beniwal, as you rightly said, one of the allies of BJP, but one of the well-known farmers' leaders who fought the election as an independent, won on his own, then joined the BJP, joined NDA. He today says, no, I'm farmer first, quitting NDA, joining the farmers. He says he's bringing 3 lakh farmers. I do not know if 3 lakhs would turn up, but Mr. Hanuman Beniwal, as anyone from Rajasthan would tell you, is not someone to be taken lightly. He does walk with thousands of people where he goes. In Haryana, a BJP MLA, an independent MLA who joined the BJP, became a chairperson, Mr. Sangwan. He today declared, I'm Kisan first, chairman later. He has also joined this movement. So and today I also got reports that Haryana's Home Minister, Mr. Anil Vij, was prevented from coming to a Gurudwara and joining the Gurpurab because they said, you are anti-farmer, stay away. This has happened in Nambala. Also, all over Haryana today, panchayats have been held. And as it happens in typical Haryana village, they say, all right, this is panchayat's faisla. You have to go and join this. Every family will contribute 1 member each to go for this struggle. So in the next 48 hours, we are about to witness another flood, surge. The government thought tire them out. 2 or 3 days, they'll start sneaking away. They'll start trickling away. Actually, the opposite has happened. Farmers from Punjab and Haryana have come with proper stocks. They have their ration with them. They need fresh milk, which the Haryana farmers are very happy to supply them. fresh milk and veg. I mean, it's important to know these things because these are the dynamics of farmers' movements. Haryana farmers are saying, you are my brother, you've come to my state, I'll give you fresh milk, I'll give you fresh vegetables. This has happened. Today's Gurpurab. Haryana farmers are making kheer and they are giving it to Punjabis. This is your festival, I'm with you. Now, when these things start to happen, Faye, this is when a farmers' movement becomes a people's movement. This is happening and something extraordinary is taking place. I'm saying all this to you because I know you are one of the few journalists who've tracked farmers' movement, who've tracked the farmers' cause very, very seriously. And this is an amazing sight to see. Last time you witnessed something like this was 1988 when Mahendra Singh Tigaith came. I don't know if you were old enough to watch that at that point or if you were there at all, but that was the last time I saw it with my eyes. Farmers came to their national capital. And that's again this time. Something extraordinary is taking place right now. And to listen to the Prime Minister on that day saying what he did was indeed very sad. The least that I expected from the Prime Minister today, when tens of thousands of farmers are knocking at the door of national capital, he could have at least said, okay, I thought I was doing you a favor, but clearly you are anxious. Let me come and address your anxiety. I'm in principle open to reconsidering all these laws. I made it for your benefit. Clearly, it's not clicking. I'm willing to reconsider. No, but he went by the 3-month-old script, which basically ends up insulting the farmers. It insults their intelligence. It insults this people's movement. That's not what the Prime Minister should be doing on this day.
Mr. Yadav, we understand that the farmers have rejected the government's offer of talks. We know that the Home Minister and the Agriculture Minister have been in a huddle for the last 24 hours trying to figure out what their next step is. Would you explain to us why the farmers have rejected the offer for talks?
First thing first, farmers are open for talks. The Punjab farmers have come to Delhi, not once, twice they have come for talks already. Before this 26th thing did not happen itself. It was preceded by 2 months of notice. 26th of September, we served a notice. We said we are coming on 26th of November. As government knew. Punjab farmers were called. They came twice. Twice they came, they joined conversation. First time they were treated to a speech by the agriculture secretary. They felt insulted. They left. They boycotted. Second time, it was chai pe charcha. And this was PowerPoint pe charcha. This was laptop pe charcha. All that happened, but nothing serious substantively came. Even then, farmers are open for negotiation. What they want is the following. They want the negotiations, discussions to be unconditional, uncoerced, inclusive, and sincere. Unconditional because in the previous thing, the government had put conditions. Come to Burari, otherwise we won't talk to you. I mean,
Yes.
this is insulting. It should be uncoerced because even now, farmers are being forced to come to Burari ground. Farmers from different parts of the country are not being allowed to come in. People from those in Burari ground are not being allowed to leave and join us here. So it should be uncoerced. It should be inclusive because it's not merely farmers of Punjab, but farmers, leaders, and organizations who had given this call at the national level. They must also be included. That's what farmers of Punjab are also saying. And fourth, it should be sincere. And by sincere, I mean just this. The government should acknowledge that farmers have grievances, that they have anxieties. Don't call them fools. Don't call them middlemen. Don't call them stooges of some party. Don't call them khalistanis. Don't do that. Just say, okay, you have anxieties. We'll address it. That's sincere talk. And to my mind, the beginning of a sincere talk would be to say, we are willing to reconsider. I'm not even saying the government should say we are repealing. No, just say we are willing to reconsider all these laws. That would be the beginning. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened.
For our audience who's asking still why the farmers are protesting, there are 2 conversations we've done in detail. One with Mr. Yogendra Yadav, the other one with P. Sainath. Links are available at the bottom of this video. Take a look at it. Right now, I'm only talking about the protest. Mr. Yadav, you did mention, of course, that the farmers or the protesters, let's call them, have been called Khalistani supporters. They've been called separatists. They've been called stooges of the opposition. There are also questions raised saying how many of these people are really farmers? How many of them, are not farmers who are just here for this protest? What is the reaction from within the camps of the protesters right now to all of these questions that have been raised?
Faye, if all these things were discussed earlier, I could still understand. But now that they are in Delhi, there are cameras, their television crew, they are free to go. And there is, let me put it this way, there is enough media in this country which is sympathetic to the government. You would agree with me? If these were not farmers, then the images of those non-farmers would have been flashing all over the screens. You can ask any journalist of Delhi. All they need to do is to walk 2 kilometers from where I'm standing. There are thousands of tractors and trolleys there. Pick any trolley, go there and say, what do you do? These are farmers. Everyone knows it. If that was not the case, I know I don't want to name television channels, but a few television channels would have had a field day if even 2% of them were non-farmers. That's for the farm. On separatism and Khalistani, I'm truly very, very saddened to hear this. Partly it's idiocy. They don't even know that 1/3 of these farmers' unions, which have come from Punjab, are actually from the left. They don't even remember that during the Khalistan movement in Punjab from 1985 to 95, these leftists were killed by Khalistanis. Hundreds of leftists have been killed by Khalistanis. These were the people who were fighting the Khalistanis, who are today being accused of being Khalistanis. Take another thing. You have a Jawan of Indian Army who was killed 3 days, who died, martyred 3 days ago on the Indo-Pak border. His father is here in this movement. Just tell me, what would that father feel if he heard that he was being called separatist in this country? He's lost his son 2 days ago in the Indian Army. And what is really sad is that in this country, if you get up and protest, if you happen to be Muslim, then you are Islamic fundamentalist and Islamic terrorist. If you happen to have a turban, you are a Khalistani. And Faye, you should also be careful. Christians should also be careful. Something else is coming for them too.
Rice bags. We're called rice bag converts, Mr. Yadav. There's also, now a question of the fact that because these highways are blocked and it's likely that more highways will be blocked.
Faye, you have to be loud again. I'm sorry.
Yeah. There's also a question of the fact that since the highways are being blocked, it's inconveniencing non-protesting citizens. Is there a response to that? That why are the other citizens of Delhi being inconvenienced?
I really feel very bad about it. There's no denying the fact that citizens are being inconvenienced. They are taking a kind view of it because they can also see farmers here. But when I see some people walking with their suitcases on their head, ordinary people who had come, commuters are being put to trouble. This is real inconvenience. I really feel sad. I do want to apologize on behalf of our friends, our farmers movement, anyone who's being put to inconvenience. I just want to say, putting people of Delhi to trouble is not what we want. We have a grudge against the Delhi Darbar, but not against the people of Delhi. These are ordinary people from villages who have come here to work. And we really wish we did not do that. We did not cause this inconvenience. But what do? We had given them a notice 2 months ago. 2 months ago, 1 month ago, we had applied for Ramlila Maidan. 1 month ago, we had said, please allow us to go to Jantar Mantar. They don't do any of those things. And today the government says, oh, the farmers came, why don't they come to Burari? As if everything was hunky-dory, as if there was a red carpet. Why did they not walk on the red carpet? Can I remind you that when they reached Delhi, they were welcomed with tear gases? That throughout the route, they had to suffer all kinds of obstacles. Water cannon, roads were dug up, everything happened. And this is when the farmers were stopped. And when that Delhi police which one day ago had demanded that all the stadia should be turned into jail. When that police says, please come to Burari, the ground is open for you, farmers are very suspicious. They especially got suspicious. We got suspicious because when we realized that those who were going into Burari ground, their phone numbers were being noted, vehicle numbers were being noted, and till yesterday, many of them were not being allowed to move out. So farmers said, okay, this looks like an open jail. And that's what the police, Delhi police asked the day before. That's why farmers are saying we don't want to. That's why we are stuck here. And I do feel bad about inconvenience caused to anyone other than the farmers who come here to have inconvenience. That's all right. But it's all with the government. All they need to do is to start unconditional negotiations from tomorrow morning.
As, Mr. Yadav, like you did say, the idea to say that the farmers are being misled and they haven't really understood these laws. It is 3 months now since the laws were actually made public, so which means the people have had the time to read through it carefully, to digest it, to consult legal counsel if you need to understand this very carefully. We also understand that there are some, clauses in this law that say that no civil court has jurisdiction, which means even if a farmer feels wronged tomorrow, he cannot go to court. That's a fundamental right of every citizen of this country to seek recourse in court, and that the central and state governments can never be brought to court under these matters. Is it again a sort of infantilizing of our farmers, saying that they are so illiterate and so unable to understand what is going on that it's very easy for them to be misled because they don't have the ability to read these laws and understand it for themselves?
You've said it. That's the word I was about to use, infantilizing. You think farmers are 5-year-old kids who don't know what is in their interest, and some guardian should tell them, no, you're foolish. This is not in your interest. It's 5 months since the laws originally came in, because it originally came as an ordinance. Then it came as a law. Exactly the same thing was repeated. In these 5 months, thousands of articles have been written. Thousands of meetings have taken place. In Punjab, sitting for me here in Delhi, for you in Bengaluru, it's very difficult to understand the level of political consciousness and literacy in Punjab. In villages, meetings have been held in each village of Punjab, explaining what these laws are doing. An ordinary farmer of Punjab can actually explain to you not the technicalities of the law, but the essence of the law they have understood. And that's why they have braved everything to come here. So at the end of it, to say, no, you don't know, this is such a wonderful gift. And the way I would put the way farmers say is this: look, if it was such a wonderful gift, why did I not demand it for the last 50 years? Not a single farmer organization has ever demanded laws of this kind. Not a single farmers union or organization was consulted before ordinance was brought in. Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman announced that they were going to bring this freedom for the farmers. We immediately jumped and said, please consult us before you do so. Please tell us what is it that you're going to bring. No discussion, no conversation, no stakeholders meeting. Ordinances come. We said, all right, now that you've brought the ordinances, before you take it to the parliament, please speak to us, please consult. Not a single consultation. Can you imagine this happening to any other sector? Can you imagine government bringing a law for the benefit of industry and not holding a simple town hall meeting with the industrialists? This is what happened with the farmers. And that is why at the end of it, they know what is happening. In essence, they know that that whatever little benefits that they have from the existing one-day system is about to be dismantled. So they've got the essence, and that's why they are protesting.
Right. And my last question to you, Mr. Yadav, I don't want to, I'm feeling bad because we're keeping you out in the cold in this conversation, is your message to the rest of the country that, listen, if you're being inconvenienced, then ask the government to speak to the farmers without condition? Is that the message that's being sent out right now?
Absolutely. The message is, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry for your inconvenience. We don't want to prolong it. Please ask the government to start the discussions immediately. Please ask the government to take away the gift, which the gift receiver doesn't want. I'm You're saying, I'm giving you a great gift. The gift receiver says, no, no, thank you very much. I don't want it. Take it away. So can't the government just do this? Do it quickly. We don't want to prolong it. We don't want to inconvenience everyone. And I would also go one step further. Not just this. Please support the farmers. If you are a farmer or if you live in the vicinity of these areas, please support these farmers. They've brought their dry ration, they've brought atta, dal, but they need fresh vegetables. They need milk. Some of them are not too well. They need medicines. Please come and support them. If you can't, and I fully understand if you can't, on social media, on Facebook, on YouTube, please go, tweet, support, extend this to your farmers. Do support Faye D'Souza's YouTube channel, but also support other things. Wherever farmers are there, wherever their conversations are coming up, share it, take it the message, because in the last instance, we may not be farmers, but we do have 3 meals a day, right? Who creates those 3 meals? Yesterday, the Prime Minister said he's going to get the idol of Annapurna from Canada. Lovely, please do that. But before you spend so much energy in Annapurna's statue from Canada, do you want to attend to this Annadata who's standing on your door? That's the message I want to give to everyone. Annadata is standing on your door. Please be kind. Please be generous. Please stand in solidarity with that Annadata who has brought this country to where it is, and who has given our economy the only positive news during COVID. That's what we owe to the Annadata.
Absolutely, really well said. So for the people who are near Delhi, if you have questions about whether these are really farmers or they're not farmers, or they're actually thousands and thousands of Congress supporters, which should worry the government at a completely different level, go visit them. But if you are going to visit them, please remember to take some sweaters and some blankets, because they're going to need it. Remember, to carry medicines, to spend some time with them. For the people across the country, I keep saying this. The greatest service you can do to the country right now is to read about the farm laws. There is a lot that has been written. Very, very qualified people have examined it threadbare. Read about the farm laws, form educated opinions. That is the biggest service you can do to the country right now. That's the service you can do to the farmers right now, is to understand their problem before you form the opinion. Do not form your opinion based on party spokespeople and what they say on television channels. Read for yourself, understand it for yourself, and then form your opinion. Nobody's telling you what you should think. I'm just asking you to figure it out for yourself. Mr. Yadav, thank you so much for joining us again and answering our questions. We have, like I said, other conversations with Yogendra Yadav and P. Sainath on this same channel. Look through those as well. It's a long explanation of these bills and why the farmers are upset. And we'll put those links here. Thank you for watching. Good night.